Welcome back to the Next Level Living Podcast. Y'all, we the number one podcast amongst anybody that love podcasts. I'm talking about your favorite podcast.
Yeah.
Who was that? Oh, yeah, it's their favorite podcast.
Yeah. Come on,
it's that type
about
of energy, y'all. And we back for part 2 like we promised. We here with my amazing sister.
Hold on, Mike. I got to say this. My bad.
No, it's all good because my intro don't matter.
If you haven't seen part 1, stop. You want to talk on that? I got you, big dog.
If y'all here for the first time, I need y'all to back it up.
Back that thing up like a U-Haul truck.
Like, okay. Or you can just back it up like a woman or man of God. And I need you to go back to last week's episode and start where we started. Y'all, we started on a high note. We ended on a high note. And we taking it on to where? The next level on this episode for part 2.
Let's go.
And we got to introduce my girl. But first, let me introduce my co-host. K-Hart, how you feeling?
I'm feeling good.
You feeling good?
Yes.
I'm ready.
All the inspiration, all the stories. I'm touched and I'm moved and I'm ready to hear some more.
For sure. Jay, how you feeling?
Phenomenal. Ready to hear from Soph. Thank you for asking.
Yes.
Though.
And I'm gonna introduce her now that you said her name.
I feel good.
For sure.
Yeah,
I'm glad
good,
you feel good. Well, now that everybody know that my sister's on the show, Sophie, how you feeling?
I feel good. Today I feel good.
It's good to see you.
It's good to see you, bro.
Man, I miss
and sis.
you. You were living out there.
Oh,
yes.
living.
Oh, yes.
I wanted all the smoke. I did everything.
Yeah.
I didn't have a day off. I did everything.
Everything.
So
when
when
did
y'all
you
was
rest?
relaxing, she was like, look.
I was out.
Peninsula tour, wine tour. She's like, are we doing this? Yep, I'm there.
Diving with the sharks. You know what I mean?
That's
I
crazy.
Talk about that.
That's
was
crazy.
an amazing experience.
People
yeah.
always say
savage.
that's wild. Like, don't do that because that's reckless. But how was that experience diving with the sharks?
Safe.
You were in a cage? Were you in a cage? Like,
Yeah, we were in a cage.
Okay.
We dipped down in a cage. It was like an 8x6.
But they came close.
Oh, they
though.
was they
was
right
there?
this.
For real?
Yes.
Like multiple sharks.
7, 8.
That's crazy.
Hey, you know what's crazy? When we were pulling up, I whispered a prayer to God. Because my man, when he gave us the rules, he was like, we could spend 3 hours out there and see no sharks.
Right.
Or we could spend 20 minutes out there and see 20 sharks. He was just like, we don't know. We can't control it. He was like, this is wildlife.
Right.
So I was just praying like, man, God, we did not come all this way
To come
and drop this bread and wake up stupid early because I'm on vacation.
Yeah.
So I'm like, bump that waking up. I'm trying to wake up late, like 6. You know what I'm saying? And my man was like, when we get there, we'll see. Hold on.
Zoom out.
Hold on.
No, real quick. This dude said I'm trying to sleep in on vacation and wake up late. I'm talking about like 6.
A.M.
No.
Yeah, that's
No. Bro, don't piss me off, dude.
Jesus.
Like, don't push me. Bro, this dude said, don't wake up. We trying to wake up late. And he said, yeah, like 6. And he wasn't even trying to get a reaction because he went into the next part of his sentence. Like, we couldn't hear.
yeah.
Jay.
I get
Well,
up.
we had to
But
be
people
in
know
the
I get up
car by
early.
6.
In the car by 6, but he said late. That's what I'm saying. Everything you're saying agrees with what we're saying, which is super early.
It's crazy. That thing crazy.
Yeah,
But when
that
we
boy
pull up,
crazy.
though,
Yeah.
My guy answered I said, God, we came all the way here.
Yeah.
It was like, 5, then 6, then 7 sharks.
Wow.
I was just, they didn't even get the anchor down and all the other stuff. Like, they was just there. I was just like, oh God, you real.
They
I'm
was
like,
waiting.
out of all this ocean, out of all this, we pull up and there's 6, 7 sharks just right here swarming. So take it from there. So
No, it was an amazing experience. I mean, it was the richest of the culture, right? The people I love to travel, just, to experience just, being in a different space and in a different environment and, experiencing the people, the cultures of food. All of that was super amazing. Johannesburg, for me, we did all the tours there. And I think for me, I love Cape Town. Like, right? The oceans, the cascading clouds, the mountains, of course, the villa. It's just a beautiful country. And I think out of all the places I've traveled so far, and I've been traveling, a lot since Brian passed, because it's, one of the things that I've always wanted to do since I was little. Cape Town is my favorite.
I was going to ask you this.
It is my favorite. And
You
also,
love Italy.
I do love
Cape
Italy.
Town past Italy?
Cape Town in general, Italy.
Can I just say, Mike, the way we experienced Cape Town
It's
last
different
time,
than other people.
No, it's different
Oh, you
than
talking
how
about me and
we
you?
experienced it.
You talking about me and you?
Yeah, see, we was in the city. It was cool.
Yeah.
We seen palm trees, but we stayed on the coast, bro. So in the morning, you see the water. We right at the
Water.
beach.
Gotcha.
And then you look
The
back
sun's-
and you see the
bruh.
mountains.
See, that's crazy that you said that, Jay, because I did that for like an hour or two the morning before I left the last time when we hiked Lion's Head.
Okay.
So I took that and I was like, man, I need more time here. Y'all
So
spent
imagine we spent
the whole
7,
time
8
there.
eight days there.
Right, but were you guys in Camps Bay? Because we were.
We
at Camps
weren't-
Bay.
we
Okay,
weren't
so
in Camps Bay.
Camps Bay.
Okay.
Right, that's where we stayed in the.
That's
villa.
like in Atlanta, the Buckhead, where
Yes.
the money is.
Oh,
Like
gotcha.
it's like
Yes.
Oh, it's out
the
there.
Houses were
Yeah.
beautiful.
Oh, so I gotta wait to go back out there with you.
Well,
So, because when I go
Pretty
back out there, I'm gonna
much.
probably be in the city. I'm just gonna drive through.
And we had a private chef every day.
Yeah, did what?
Breakfast.
no breakdown
It sounded-
breakfast. Oh yeah,
right.
Mike.
Breakfast, the array of exotic fruits, the infused water, the man, I didn't think I liked chicken sausage, and it was really, really
The
good.
eggs,
Really?
the
Eggs, the
pancakes,
pancakes,
French toast.
French
Y'all done have French
Oh.
toast
every morning.
from a chef from South Africa,
Oh,
Chef Langello.
Chef
Young
Langella.
Jella.
Oh,
So it's sounding more like it was a spiritual trip more than just a vacation trip, right? And it was around people that you felt comfortable with, you felt safe with, and you looked forward to seeing every day.
yes, absolutely. The first day, I was already feeling a certain way going to Cape Town because Brian and I talked about it so much. So there was a lot of emotions, right? So when I got there, I don't know. I felt like I was surrendering. Like I was trying to keep my energy up, and I was trying to keep, my smile going. And it wasn't until Gavin and his wife came, and it was the first time I met his wife in person. And we sat and talked, and she wanted to talk about Brian. And so we talked about Brian, and that meant a lot to me.
yeah.
And then she talked about, she asked me how I'm feeling, and I told her the truth, how I'm feeling.
I love it.
And then after that, I went into my room, went downstairs
moment.
for the rest of the night.
Oh, did you?
I cried, I prayed, I laughed, I smiled, I was talking to God, and I just took that time to just be by myself. But then the days, after that, I fully was present, right? Enjoying the coast, the ocean, the views, the water. But it was very sentimental, and it meant a lot to me being there.
Yeah.
And then also with, sponsoring the children, right, Jay?
Oh,
Because we
yeah.
were a part of that.
Yeah.
So to see that in person.
And they didn't just serve, like Soph and others like wrote a check, like drop bread. Yeah.
Wow.
So I felt in essence like his spirit there.
Yeah.
And then the serving part, and I met this, I think for me, the top thing was meeting Caitlin. I met this little girl, and she was 9 years old. And for some reason, she just
Cling to you.
clung to me. She cried when I left. She was touching my skin, and she was, she was just asking me about America and, how long I was there. She wanted to know if I was going to see her again. And these are people that, we were serving in the community.
In the Cape Flats, poverty. Yeah.
Poverty, right? And there were a lot of children that was there that was with me, but particularly her. God has really put something in my heart for her. Mm-hmm. And then so I asked her, what did she want to do? And all of this, she wanted to be a lawyer. And I asked her why. And she said she wanted to help people. Mm-hmm. So immediately, something struck my heart. And I was like, God, I want to be a part of her life. Mm-hmm. I want to help cultivate. I want to help sow into her dreams and her hopes. I want to be that person that I didn't have growing up, being an immigrant and all that, coming to this country and how to figure all that out. But I want to do that for her. So I left a note for the team and asked them to find her and her parents. So I'm waiting for that because I want to get in contact
And she
with her.
texted me and was like, we going to make sure she get to law school. I said,
And that's
done.
That's very special. That's very special because one of the main things about going to visit other countries and spending time with the kids is that when that person leaves, if they just do it for themselves, that child is just left with that hole, that void.
Yeah.
But you're like, no, I had this relationship. I feel like I'm called to be a part of this child's life, and you're going to continue to grow that. So that's an example for a lot of people that just want to visit countries and volunteer. No, like if you want to volunteer, make sure there's another follow-up action item with that child, because think about the effect that it has on a child if you would have never see her again or never even cared about following up with her.
Right. So we're still waiting on that. And I'd say the other part was when we went to church, and we had service, and I was sitting there, and this lady by the name of Sonia.
Yeah.
Sonia. They came up to me and they said, "Hey, we're so glad that you're here. We've been following your husband before he passed with the Grace Tour. And he had encouraged and inspired us so much that we started a community called Plug In." Wow. And then so when they heard that he passed, of course, they said they were praying for me and keeping me in prayer. And she said that she's been following. I didn't know. But they started something way before he passed called the Plug In. So for youth and young adults, and they use his book as a lesson plan.
Wow.
Jesus.
That broke me.
Of course. Because that was y'all prayer. Y'all wanted to expand and y'all wanted to make a difference over there, and you didn't realize that it was already starting to happen.
So Cape Town will forever be in my heart.
So last week we had Crump on, and he was actually talking about the same thing, about how special Cape Town would be to him. Mm-hmm. With Brian being gone and you having this experience and knowing what you prayed for, you say something that always stands out to me, and my mom loves this, but you say, "God, you promised."
That's my hashtag.
That's your hashtag. God, you promised.
God, you promised.
How does it feel being in Cape Town, seeing God's promises come to fruition in front of your face?
I had so many moments where I had to separate myself because it was overwhelming. Yeah. And it was overwhelming. There was sadness and joy because it's grief, right? You know that feeling, because they don't cancel each other out, but just it's sad because he's not here. Yeah. But it was so much joy, and I felt so proud. Yeah. That is legacy. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's over the oceans. And she was writing something to me after that on my Instagram, like, know that your husband's legacy is felt here across the ocean, and we're going to continue that. So it encourages me, and it inspires me. It makes me feel super proud. And God, you promised.
I love it. Well, Sophie, before you go, I know everybody got their name during the naming ceremony. Can you share yours?
It's Thembinkosi.
Mm-hmm. Okay, what does that mean?
Oof. Man, this man, I'm telling you.
Anointed.
First of all, he was going past me. Like to everybody. I was like, what? Is he trying to figure? Yeah. And I was like, am I going to get my name? Everybody, But yeah, he said, it means trust in the Lord.
No way.
Listen.
Okay.
Bro.
It means trust in the Lord.
God's promise.
It means, and he said something about the weight and the balance, the weight and the balance. And then Jay had kind of filled him in. And he, when he said, because I always said this, I know that God didn't, he allowed Brian to die. It wasn't the cause of his death. Yeah. But when the elder said he was there, God was there when he passed. And we don't know. And I believe that he allowed it, right? We don't know. It's hard to accept, but he allowed it. But that, God's got me. Yeah. Trust in the process, that he's actively shielding and protecting me. So you just need to trust him. Yeah.
And he didn't know about Brian's passing. Just anointed. He didn't.
Wait.
Well,
we told him
Jay
afterwards
gave him
the
some color
significance.
After he gave me my
we
name.
gave him the significance.
So
you can imagine, I'm getting chills now. You can imagine we sitting around this long table because it sat 16 people. So it was 15 of us, so he was number 16. You can imagine the conversation and the way we were feeling for hours as she's just going, just person by person, giving them their names, and then the meaning of it and how it just ministered to them and broke them down. It was, when he got to Sophie, I was just like.
Listen, we gotta keep this thing going, Sophie. But I just need you to understand how much purpose I see in you daily. Like how much you are covered, and like I feel like it's important to just remind you all the time, like just the little sprinkles of God's grace and His love over you, like just specifically, like God got you, like,
Thanks.
and it's refreshing to me to see God have you and to see His promises come to fruition in your life in just little ways like this.
And it's important who you're attached to.
Absolutely.
Right? So the people in your life play certain roles and parts.
Yeah.
So if it wasn't for Jay and Tracy, we wouldn't be in this position. We wouldn't be able to experience South Africa. We wouldn't be able to experience Cape Town, the chefs, the villa, and all of this. So it's the favor, we feel favor, but it's through them. It comes from the head down. So
I receive it. I can also say this though. Yes, we definitely favored and those attached to us, but you're attached to us because of who you are.
Yeah.
Deani's attached to us because of who she is. So it just works, man. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you so much for
this
being
is
here,
nice.
y'all.
Yeah.
Hey, coming right up, y'all. I can't even tell y'all how full my heart is. And we just got to keep this energy going with the next person that we bringing on. You heard Jay talk about Deani. I don't know if y'all have ever seen Deani on camera yet. Like this is our girl. Like
Oh, you
and
feel
like
me?
like Nick is like the GOAT in what she does. But Jay likes to call Deani the baby goat. Like she gets down. And don't let this little sweet face fool you. Like she about that
know,
actions.
right?
Like she gets stuff done. But this is our heart. We want to introduce somebody very special, somebody who we love dearly. We welcome in Deani at this time. How you doing, sis?
Doing good. How y'all doing?
Good. It's good to have you. It's good to
And
have
by the
you.
way, just so y'all know, she was working behind the scenes on the podcast, and then it was like, let me step away like a
Yeah,
real
and
boss.
so many
and
other
let me
things.
just join
Yeah.
real quick.
Yeah,
Yes. So,
yeah.
thank you.
Facts. Deani, my first question for you is, what do you want to tell us about South Africa? Because we've had specific questions for so many people. I want to go straight to what means most to you first. Shed some light on us about South Africa from your experience. This being your first time in South Africa.
Yeah, not the last. Not the last.
Come through.
This ain't your last time on this
Energy.
podcast either. So
I love it.
Yeah, so I felt it important to step from behind the scenes, mostly so that I could express to you and Tracy how grateful I am. Gratitude is the highest form of currency for me. And you guys like tell me over and over and over again, how much you appreciate me and you show me. And so taking a trip to South Africa, Jay and Tracy could have we need a break from work. We work with these people all the time. They didn't have to invite us.
Yeah.
And they did. And they, I put them out there, they treated me to the trip.
Wow.
You know what I mean? They could have bought me a card.
Yeah.
Or they
Like,
could have just texted me and
happy
said,
holidays.
thank you.
Yeah.
But they didn't. And so I really appreciate
Absolutely. Appreciate you.
it. So
What do you want to tell us
let's
about
start
this
with
trip?
Johannesburg.
Johannesburg was
Hold on. I'm sorry. Let me just say something. Deani makes it easy to wanna bless her. Beyond the work, like super efficient. Our team, we got people you can depend on to call on, but she's super efficient, super professional. She knows how to execute. She always has high energy. It's the stuff behind the scenes that we find out later.
Okay.
The prayer calls she's having with people, the counseling sessions, because she's a licensed therapist. So the counseling sessions that she's having with
Almost
people.
licensed.
Okay, there we go. The graphic design, I'm in the future, my bad. The graphic design that she's doing, she just does so much with such a great spirit.
Yeah.
And watch this. And when she came on as an intern.
Wow.
Her excellence forced us to hire her full time.
Wow.
No. I need y'all to get that, because some of y'all are wondering, how come you don't get certain things, whatever. She came on and was working full time and wasn't getting paid. And it got to a point where it was just like, you done took us to a whole nother level. Like, we have to carve out something. And so then Tracy and I talked. And one day we were just in the bed just chopping it up. And we was just like, Deani need to be on this trip. And without, Tracy was like, yep, you're right. I was like, well, shoot, what we finna do then? And it just happened. So I just want to shout you out.
Wow.
We do philanthropy work, philanthropic work. Like we writing the check, we send the kids to college. These extra things, it just comes from a pure place. And we saw how you moved and operated. And God was like, I bless you to be a blessing to certain people. And let me tell you why I did this for you. There are some of my homeboys that might call me and say, Jay, I need to borrow some money. Can I borrow $1,500? Can I borrow $4,500? And I used to be like, all right, here you go. And I don't even let people borrow money.
Yeah,
I give. Because
it.
I'm like, if you're struggling, you're going to struggle to pay me back. So just keep it. And God told me stop doing that.
You different.
God told me stop doing that though.
Okay.
God said those blessings are not for them. God said, I want to bless them, but they didn't make the sacrifices that you made. They didn't get free from porn like you did. They didn't stop drinking like you did. Like they didn't stop that. And so you blessing them, those blessings are not for them. So God said, you got to be a better steward of the resources and the blessings I give you. So I had to tell some of my partners who I love, man, I can't do that for you because that resource is for Deani. So I just had to shout that out. God is like, she worthy of this blessing. She's worthy of this flight. She's worthy of this luxury villa. She's worthy of that.
Yeah.
And so I just had to shout that out because of who you are. Because I ain't that dude where I'm a blessing random people I don't know. But for you, who we keep close to us, God was like, bro, she's supposed to be there.
Y'all,
I
need a moment of y'all time real quick. Like what Jeremy just said is so crucial to my heart, but to this episode. He just said that he loves people that he has to take back resources from so that he can bless people that are investing in themselves to be the best person available for who God's trying to call them to be. Y'all, to everybody out there that blows up my DMs, asking me how you can get on this podcast, asking me how you can get in touch with Jeremy. And the reason why Jeremy hasn't heard from me about any of those messages is because you haven't made yourself available long enough for God to do what you're asking me to. That's not my position to put you there. You keep going as hard as you can with what God is giving you, and God will put you on his platform or somebody else's to do more than what it is that you are even wanting him to do. We're going to get back to the episode right now. Yeah. But that was heavy.
Yeah, and it was real.
And that's
so I just
real.
Had to shout
Thank you,
the
bro.
team and Deani out. It's because of who you are. But yeah, let's talk about your experience.
Let's talk about your experience.
Highly appreciate it too.
For sure.
And what Jay doesn't know is that I rededicated my life to God January 2022, right?
Wow.
Surrendered.
Wow.
And then I saw Jay walking across the street February. Jay invited me to the mastermind. I started working here in March.
Jeremy want to talk. Jeremy want to go into it. He want to talk. Jeremy about to get excited.
Because she said, we talking about Atlanta. It could take an hour to get from one part of town to the other.
Facts.
She just happened to be at a coffee shop.
No,
And I don't drink
outside
coffee.
mall.
I do not
She
drink
said that
coffee.
she don't even drink coffee.
To be clear.
Listen, Nicole Star. She just happened to be at a coffee shop. Watch this. It's probably a dozen malls around Atlanta.
Right.
She just happened to be at the one that's close to where we're having our elite mastermind.
Wow.
We just happen to have some extra time to be walking through.
Wow.
And we just happened to cross paths.
That's rare.
But she
That
just
never happens.
happened to have been texting me the last 3 to 6 months prior.
No.
Hey, big bro. I've known Deani since she was in, what, 5, 6,
5 years
7?
old.
That's
5 years
crazy.
old. Hey, big bro, I want to volunteer. Hey, big bro, I want to serve. Hey, big bro. And I just didn't see it. I was just like, all right, we'll figure it out. Like, I just didn't get it. When I saw her then, Holy Ghost was like, bro, this ain't by chance.
Wow.
I invited her to come to the mastermind the next day.
Oh, the same weekend?
Same weekend. And the rest was history. So it was a God thing.
Yeah, it was a God thing.
Yeah, so go ahead.
It was a God thing. So full circle, right? Johannesburg was cool, but coming in Johannesburg, I would say really revolutionized relationships for me because I really got to feel the heart of the whole team in a lot of different ways. And I got to serve in a greater capacity, right? Cape Town, it really felt like home. Like I felt God everywhere.
Yeah.
My biggest highlight was probably whooping Jay's butt in spades.
Yeah.
Chris's butt in spades.
This Mike's response for me.
Jeremy lost.
That's hilarious. God did. I don't know if Jeremy won, but God did.
Yes, see?
And then receiving my name, my Zulu name was Thande Kile.
Say it one more time.
It's Thande Kile.
It's Thande Kile.
That means recipient of love. He said that basically, like, love will find you. You don't have to find it. So wherever you go, you will be loved freely.
So the word Kile, I've heard that in two now. Do you all know what the Kile part means?
I believe it means love.
It means because somebody
Tracy's
else was
name is Tembe Kile,
Kile, right.
which means the trusted
to
one.
trust. Right.
And it might be more, but that's the short version of it.
We'll have to figure that one out. Okay.
That is incredible.
That's it. Yeah, we'll look it up.
I mean, that sounds about right, though. That sounds definitely about right.
Because that's the energy that you give. We trust you with love. I receive your love and I give that love to you every time I see you, because love is a space that you abide in. Like, that's where you reside, D. Like when I see you, I feel love, and it doesn't matter how long it's been, even if I just seen you and you come back in the door like, oh, you forgot something, give me another hug. There's love here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just appreciate you being a symbol of what God represents in that. And then also being humble enough and open enough to receive that same love from someone else. A lot of people that love like you do can't receive it because you feel like it's your job to give, not to receive. So I appreciate you sitting there and actually allowing him to love on you and allowing Jay and Tracy to pour into you on this trip as well. Chris, you got another question for Dude? Because I love hearing her talk, like, especially on camera.
Yes. What was your experience like in the community when you guys were serving and stuff?
Yeah, so really the fiber of my existence is service. Service. So just being able to be chosen to serve the community was amazing.
Yeah. And she helped document. I got to also reference that. She helped document. So all the B-roll that y'all have seen from this episode and the previous one and so much more, like, she was responsible for kind of documenting the whole experience, and she didn't have to. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It was just like the gift that, like, that's the fabric. We trying to over-deliver and trying to out-bless and out-serve each other. And so that was a real pivotal, you know what I'm saying, moment too. But to see you, you know, the Peninsula tour, to see you and the girls on the wine tour, y'all was all dressed up, fly, you know what I'm saying? To see you with the animals, like, it did, like Tracy said it. She said her highlight was seeing everybody else experience it. Because we had been there. Wow. You know what I'm saying? But to see everyone else experience, to see them light up, like, at every step of the way, I'm like, this community today going to be special for them. These monkeys going to be special. The elephants going to be special. The sharks going to be special. The wine tour going to be special. Like, to see how you were able to just be poured into and loved on, it was special. Yeah. These people are special, like special. And we've had to introduce everyone individually so that you can see what we're constantly bragging on. And we're going to keep that going, because now we don't have favorites, okay? We don't have favorites. I promise you, because the type of excitement that I'm about to give y'all. You said we don't have favorites?
We don't have favorites. Like, I need to put that out there, because it might get a little excited on the show real quick. The temperature might change in just a second, because I have the epitome of excitement and love that just tapped in. And I'm talking about our boss, our COO, the person who is representing us at the highest level under Jeremy and Tracy. I'm talking about Jeremy and Tracy before they started just owning Next Level Living. They were doing all of this. Now, Next Level Nick is what we call her.
Yeah, come on.
Because she is doing all of these things and killing it. Y'all, we got to welcome to the show our sister, our boss, Next Level Nick. Next Level what? Hold on, y'all, real quick. Some was in my phone. Some was in my microphone, and we're not gonna do that. So thank you for keeping that camera there, because I want to reintroduce, because I don't know who I just introduced, the lizard. It was I don't know what I just did, but right now we're introducing Next Level Nick. I said, how you doing?
Oh my God.
Hey, Sid. Hey.
Welcome.
Hey.
What's happening?
Yeah.
Oh, and this is my favorite accent on the God-given planet.
Come on.
Shout out to Bermuda.
Yeah.
How you feeling, Nick?
This is exciting.
Yeah.
Like this feels good.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, this
man.
feels good.
Chris, what do you want to start
I'm
off
just
asking
like,
her? I want to hear
first
Nick
of all,
talk.
It's overwhelming because this is her first time on the podcast.
Yes.
So we have a
First
whole
time.
other episode
You know
we
what?
need to do with
We're
just
gonna have
her.
you come back in a couple weeks. That's
Yes.
good. Okay, good. Yeah.
So I'm just like, I don't want to get too much into it, but
Right.
let's just focus on the trip for now.
Yes.
That's good.
What was your experience like in each place? Johannesburg, Cape Town, and what was the highlight?
Yeah, I tell people, when we talk about it, I said Joburg was beautiful.
Yeah.
Right? But Cape Town captured my heart. Right? Like Cape Town reminded me of home.
Yeah.
You wake up in the morning, you see the water right outside the window. Like that's home for me. That's Bermuda, the sand, the water, right? What made it special? My family was there with me. You know what I mean? Like this is an experience that I was able to bring my son and daughter to. Like to be able to give that to them, like that's priceless. And there was so much to take away from it. Like I know we've had the team kind of talking about their experiences. I have so many. Next level, what it does is it magnifies my purpose. Like being in a space where I can do all the things. Like I have my family with me, my family and my family, right? Like being able to do it with the people that I love. The people have talked about the Zulu elder. Listen, without having a conversation, right? This man doesn't know us from anywhere. Right. Like I came out, hey, I'm Nick, but that's it. I love Cape Town, it's beautiful. And then we go and have dinner.
Yeah.
Wow.
To sit in that room and just watch him one by one without having a conversation. This is your name. This is your name. And for him to be so spot on, what was evident, right, is that he already knew us before we got there because he knows who we're connected to.
Come on.
So I don't have to have a conversation with you, Mike, because I know your father. Like he already told me who you are. So when I finally meet you, I know your name already.
Wow.
Right? So it was magical. It was spiritual. And to be in it, like we can't even really give it justice of just how special that moment was. It was incredible.
And,
2 full
and your
weeks.
name was?
Nkosa Sana.
Say that one more time. I like that.
I feel like the hyenas are liking. Say it again for me. Say it again. Say it again. Move
Run
faster, move
that
faster, move faster. Say it again.
Right. Here we go. Shh, get quiet. Catch it. Don't miss it.
Okay.
Nkosa Sana.
Wow. And tell them what it means. Again.
Woman King.
Yes. Now, for the people that don't know, Nicole is our chief operating officer. So when it comes to certain things, me and Tracy, we deal with Nick, and then Nick works with everybody else. So when you look at the hierarchy of the food chain, it's me and Tracy, then it's Nick. Like she's over all of the different companies and entities and everything. And so for him to say Woman King and then not meet her,
Right. But
that's
okay,
God.
let's go to the actual. Have you guys seen the Woman King movie that came out in 2022?
It is
Okay,
the
this
best
is
movie
why-
of 2022.
Yes, this
the
is
best.
why-
And we love Black Panther.
If Jewel was here,
But this is-
Jewel would debate you.
What movie does she like? Black Panther?
She said Black Panther moved her to tears.
And what
She said Woman King was a 10 out of 1 to 10. Woman King was a 10 and Black Panther was 10.5.
Jewel
and
saw-
I like
Jewel
that.
saw Woman
Right,
King?
right.
And I would say
Jewel
the,
saw
Yeah,
Woman-
we took
okay.
it. Yeah,
and so I would say the opposite at my adult age
right.
and seeing what the Woman King meant. It was the first time you saw women in power. I'm not talking about like at the same level as men. I'm talking about the go-to.
Right.
Go ahead, Chris. Break this down.
Right. So when you hear Woman King, like you guys were all like, okay, he's King Coach, Woman King. I didn't hear that at all. I heard the Woman King was basically the king, but a queen.
Come on.
So she was the
Come on.
woman king,
Yeah,
not that
come on.
she had a person to make her a king. Right? She was the king. And so for me, it was like you on your own are that powerful
Yes.
Yes. Can I add to that?
with
It looks like you're not gonna give her no choice.
Go ahead. Finish. I thought you were done. My bad.
And then with your spouse, it's like it's that much greater because y'all both come with that same amount of power, but y'all equals. Yes. And so anyway, that's what I heard.
Go ahead, Jay. Now, Jay, go on.
I wanted to say the significance, and that's why you got to watch the movie. That's your homework, Simon. The next 72 hours. I know we got. Okay.
Grace.
All right. But the next week. Within the next week.
The King Coach stepped up. He said, hey.
Hold up.
But I'll say this.
It's a conference coming up.
In the movie, she didn't start off as the woman king. It was her faithfulness. Yeah. It was her grit. It was her fearlessness. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It was her passion. It was her unwavering commitment and dedication to her people. Yeah. Where at the end of the movie, it's like you were the woman king. Right. Yeah. So I really felt like that was kind of symbolic of God saying like, man, this last year you've been super duper faithful. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And now this past year we've seen how you moved and operated, and now you're the woman king. Yeah. That thing's deep, man. Yeah. So I just had to acknowledge that. Yeah. She wasn't born a woman king. Like her faithfulness moved her to that point where he was like, okay, you are now the woman king.
Wow. And he sees that.
And like, and see it.
Right. He sees that. And you don't even have to be all loud and any of that. You're just you, but you bring that power and people can just see straight to it. So
I love that you broke that down because I'm going to have her say her name one more time. Can you tell them?
Yes. Nkosa Sana.
So when you hear that, when we feel that, you don't understand the strength behind that. But we see it.
Yeah, for
when
sure.
you see Jay get emotional talking about her, it's because we feel the royalty that exudes from her. We feel the presence, and how much we honor you is due to who God has called you to be and who you are fulfilling what he's called through your faithfulness.
I want to say another statement, but I'm going to save it for your spotlight episode. Lord, I got a special tribute for these two Negroes right here.
Okay. So
can I just say,
yes.
Can I talk about my highlights for you?
Okay.
And then I'm going to give it back to you. Man, when they was doing their TikTok video, Chris, I'm thinking like, they having a party. Like, what is going on? They down there dancing. Like, that just did so much joy. When I saw her, y'all know, she does makeup and face paint.
I saw that.
So when we in the community, it's a lot. God, let me tell a funny story. So when we first got there, shout out to all of our next levelers that volunteer on the regular basis that live there. They were doing some face paint. And there was a crowd of kids around. Nick comes in and she got the whole kit. She sets her stuff up, does the first person, little girl goes by, everybody's like, whoa, who did that? They like her. But I look up, everybody left the other line, and Nick got a long line, bro, of people waiting to get their face paint done. And I was just like, phenomenal.
We had to security to get her to leave, to get her back on the bus.
Man, oh, yeah, she was the hottest thing, bro.
We had to pull to Australia?
Bro, she was great.
We don't want to leave anybody behind. All right, real quick.
Bro, it was epic. And then to see you worshiping on a praise team.
Wow.
Bro, I tell you, she took me out. You know when they have how Donna McClurkin has Great Is Your Mercies? Yeah. And you know how each person does their solo?
And she can sing, y'all.
Bro, when Nick hit, I was like, why snot on the floor? Like I was done. I was done.
Man.
Come on, talk about it. Talk about it.
This one, we weren't there.
She didn't go to none of the praise team rehearsals. Nope. She showed up the morning of anointed. Come on, Nick, talk about it.
Yeah, man. Listen, and this is what I mean when I say all the things.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like the shout out to Star Design, the face painting. Yeah, you know, being able to minister. You know, and here's the thing. So I'll tell you something that's funny. We were supposed to. Yes, this is my first time on a coach.
You come back. Don't worry.
I was supposed to do this a while back.
Yes.
Right? And long story short, because we could talk about it on, you know, the next time I come in.
For sure.
Sit on the couch again.
Yes.
But the reason why I did it, the root of the issue was fear. Right? Like the root of the issue was fear. Like I was legit afraid.
Wow.
Why? Because I was focused on me.
Nick,
right?
This like, is going to do it. This is going to set somebody free right now. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So today it's not about me. You know what I mean? Like when we were in Cape Town, when it came time to minister, it's not about me.
That's it.
This is not about me.
That's it.
So I could have easily been like, I don't know these people. I've never been to this church before. I haven't come to rehearsal. I could have done all
In
of
your
that. but-
head. You could have been in your
I
head,
could
yeah.
have. But it was like, no, this is about them. Right? And you talk about it all the time. Like, God only gives you what he could trust you with.
Yeah.
Right? So one of the gifts is singing.
Yeah.
But it's not for me. It's to be a blessing to the
Yes,
people. So when the
yes.
opportunity presents itself,
Yes.
it doesn't matter if I haven't been to rehearsal. It doesn't matter if this is the first time I'm taking this stage because it's not about me.
Yeah.
Right? So when it was time to minister, and they were like, we're doing Great Is Your Mercy. Nick, you're going last. I was like, bet, let's go.
Let's go. Let's go.
So I'm standing there and we're going one by one. The first person goes, and I'm like, yep, praise God. Yep, second person. And this was my prayer. God, I do not want to be, if I'm nervous, that means I'm thinking about myself.
Yes.
Like, I do not want to be nervous. I don't want to have that shaky voice thing because you know that happens. I'm human. I feel it. Right?
Absolutely.
I don't want any of that.
Yeah.
I just want to be a blessing.
Yes.
Third person went, I'm like, yep, okay, I'm next, God. It's our turn. We're coming.
Yes.
Right? So then it was my turn to go, and I was just like, oh, Jesus.
Yes.
All of God and none of you.
Yes.
I was done.
Yes. You just touched on something, and it gave me chills when you first started because I knew how powerful this moment was. The first time someone asked me to preach at a church and I saw myself, I was just like, don't ever ask me to stand on before God again. Like, don't disrespect God. And I remember the morning before I spoke that sermon, which was probably one of the most powerful messages God has ever given me. Yeah. But God and the devil said something to me at the same time that was both true. It said, you're not worthy. When I felt that, I was shook because I couldn't believe that it was coming from two different sources. Right. See, the devil stopped though, because he liked the fear that put inside of me. Sure. God put a comma.
Yeah.
He said, I am. He said, you're not worthy, but I am.
Yeah, I like
He
that.
said, I need you to, when you step up there, to know that you're speaking on behalf of me. Yeah. You're not going there on behalf of you.
Right.
I'm using you because you're not worthy. Because you're speaking to people who feel the same way as you and who are also not worthy. But I sent my son for people who don't deserve me because through me, you can have all things. Yeah. And when I felt that, it released something inside of me that told me there is never one time in my life that somebody will ask me to do something for God and I will hesitate. Right. I didn't say no. I said hesitate. Right. Because anytime I give the devil a chance to give me a mirror and I see myself, it's an opportunity for me to make God look like a fool. And I'm not going to ever do that to somebody who stood on behalf of me and gave everything for me to have this opportunity. So you saying that, and for you to be so bold and get excited on behalf of one of your biggest fears is an example that mirror was broken and that all you could see was Christ standing there in that moment. So I'm so proud of you and I'm grateful that you did that. I can see in your essence. I'm grateful that you're here speaking like this because this is the person that we love. I wanted them to see this person and everybody getting a chance to see you. And of course, again, in a couple of weeks, shameless plugs. Okay, she gonna be back. But on behalf of that, anytime that God gets a chance to use you, just know we about to just go show off our daddy real quick. That's it. That's it. And that's what we doing, y'all. So
go ahead, Nick. Anything else you want to share?
Favorite thing could be about the kids. It can be a moment that you and Crump had, like something that you had on your own. What was the moment that you want to leave these people with out of everything that you experienced?
What was the moment when you said, I'm in Africa?
Oh, I like that. I like that.
We didn't want to leave.
Yeah. Y'all flight got
like
delayed or something, right?
I'll tell them about that. Yeah.
You know,
their response. So our flight got canceled.
Oh,
first off, let me just tell you how real God is. I mean, everybody, listen to me. God is real. Listen to me. God is real.
Beyonce voice.
I text the team because we had a South Africa 2022 group chat. I text the team and said, bump that. I'm not leaving. Simbi gonna have to fight me. That's the house manager. Yep. When I put that thing out there in existence that I ain't want to leave,
what happened?
Why we get an email from Delta talking about our flight
Everybody's
had been canceled.
Flight canceled.
Why I tell the team, what y'all start doing, Nick?
Everybody
They started dancing. I'm thinking like,
Got another day.
so now I'm thinking like, God, if you're gonna do it, you got to do it all the way. Because we ain't trying to have to pack up. Like, this a luxury villa we staying in. You know what I'm saying? It's always booked. I'm like, me ain't gotta pack up and go to a hotel. I said, babe, man, call the owners of the villa, not an Airbnb. You can't just go on Airbnb and rent this. Call them and see if it's available. Bro, why they say it's available, but the next day it's not. So
No way.
So we just got to stay there
They
one more
only
extra
had
day.
one more day for
One
y'all.
more day.
They
more
y'all like what do we want to talk? Like, God, how great is our God? Like, how next level is our God? Like, not just in a physical tense, not just we pray and look up to you, but how next level is our God. I'm gonna leave y'all with that. How next level is our God. Y'all, thank y'all so much for tuning in. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all for y'all being able to experience this with us. And if I can say anything else, do not miss the opportunity to experience this love that we have for each other, this love that God has for us, this love that God has for you, and the love that we have for you at the Next Level Speakers Conference. It's not even coming up yet. Just keep it on your radar. Because when it comes, this is not something y'all can play with. I promise you, you won't want to miss it. We'll see y'all next week. We love y'all.
Get it.
I'm on another level.
So I went from doing okay to now doing $500,000 a year from speaking and writing, and it's been awesome for me thus far.
One gig, $18,000. Jeremy showed me what was possible.
The whole origins of our Next Level Speakers Elite program came from members of the Academy saying, yo, Jeremy, yo, ET, we need more. We want to travel with you guys. We need help with our marketing and our branding and our website. We want to be on stage with you guys. Like, we created this elite program for people who wanted more.
It's not about you are an elite speaker or, you see yourself one day being number one in the world. No, it's you have an affinity for being elite. It's about understanding that excellence is the bare minimum and everything you do has to be elite. That's what the Next Level is about.
I can, I will, I must.
So when I think about our elite community, like, it's not just me and ET's goal to give you game. Like, we're gonna give you game, we're gonna give you resources, we're gonna have masterminds here in Atlanta and in different islands. Like, we're gonna provide you these marketing and branding services. We're gonna do that. But it's also me and ET's responsibility to put you in the best light, to have you looking so good out here where organizations view you as a top professional speaker.
We're going to make sure that your brand looks as good as our brand, and the resources that we have, we're gonna lend those resources to you.
When I look at the full scope of what our Speakers Elite program entails, it's more than just the stages we put you on.
I'm so thankful to the Next Level Elite Speaker community for opening up this door. When they say they offer next value and the next level experience, they really do. And so huge thank you to Jeremy and his team for opening up this opportunity to speak here at TEDx in Miami.
It's more than just the photos that our team will capture and produce for you. It's more than just the custom speakers reel we'll create and the website and branding. It's more than that. It's like a high-level inner circle, right? A community of people who are all like-minded, pursuing the next level. Man, in a nutshell, we're really a family.
I spent thousands of dollars trying to find my place. It wasn't until I got here that I found home, and I own it. You can't put a price on what y'all doing here.
I just feel like I finally have a real family.
People ask all the time, okay, I make this type of investment, will I get my money back? Can I just be honest? You owe you, okay? You owe you. So we can't guarantee you engagements. But what we can guarantee you is you will be engaged. So you're going to have an opportunity to be with me. You're going to have opportunity to travel with Jeremy. You are going to literally get an opportunity to shadow us. So you'll be at the gig, you'll meet, the individuals that are responsible, event planners, the CEO or the COO or the director, who's ever there. You're gonna understand philosophically what it takes to do this work. So I don't wanna just give you game in terms of what you need to do to become the best version of yourself as a communicator that you can be. I wanna put you in the game.
You know what makes our Next Level Speakers Elite program so interesting? It's we're a very diverse group of people. Some are men and women who are pastors and engineers. Some are teachers, some are entrepreneurs, some are doctor this and doctor that. Many of them are retired professional athletes, but we all have one thing in common. They're all serious about dominating in the speaking space. The only question you gotta ask yourself is, are you ready to go to the next level and become an elite speaker?
Don't think about it as spending money. Think about it as an investment. And don't ask yourself, can I afford it? I want you to say to yourself, I cannot not afford to make the investment and do what I have to do for myself, for my family, and for my legacy.
It's probably one of the realest programs you're going to ever get into. I've been in the other programs. They trash. I'll tell the truth. They trash. Man, you giving us a chance to do to practice what God gave us on stage. Yo, man, he said it right. It's priceless.
I've never been a part of a program like this that is a one-stop shop. I'm talking about EPKs, your website, the curriculum, all the information that you need, templates, everything that you need to take your speaking game to the next level and do what I was able to do in such a short period of time and go full-time as a motivational speaker doing the thing that I love the most. If you are not a part of this program, you do not know what you're missing. You do not want to miss out on this opportunity. I'll see you on the next level.
It's your boy E.T. I can't wait to meet you. I can't wait to teach you. And more importantly, I can't wait to sit back and watch you blow up and change the world.